being a supervisor, and again, I've had an opportunity to experience all positions over the course of since I was 18. Starting off as a poll clerk and then registration information officer. So I really got to experience all the roles before coming to supervisor. And part of what I see as a role, certainly as a supervisor, my job was to oversee the polling station, make sure everything went smoothly, making sure that the process was fair, transparent, making sure that we got feedback from electors, because that was extremely important to help improve on how we move forward. Get workers ready and prepared for the day. Just because the election happens that day, it's also really important in my role was to connect with the election workers prior to that. And also supporting the workers. It's really important. That's the job, especially as a supervisor at that day, was to support the workers, making sure that they were okay. And it was really important for me to know what all responsibilities were included. And so my job would be to cover the break shifts for them as well. From registration to being at the polling station, and then also the other component was to deal with any complaints, deal with any concerns from electors, whether it's be if their voter registration, ID, but also making sure that they came in, that they knew that they would be well supported. And so that was my job, and to report any concerns to my supervisor that may have occurred during that moment or during that day. And also making sure that when electors came in, that their well-being was also met as well, making sure that, whether someone, especially people with disabilities, when they're waiting in a lineup, do we need to make sure we have chairs in the lineup? Do we need to make sure that they have the support that they need as well? And also making sure that the election workers also had the tools as well that day as well. I truly do believe in democracy, and I truly do believe we have a responsibility, especially for generations such as me, for generations that are going to be impacted, to engage. And part of me was, how can I help my community and make a difference? How can I support and build a great team? It's really important that we have more training on accessibility and supporting people with disabilities. It's really important that while we're having accessible training, that they're actually led by people with disabilities. I think people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, or the invisible disabilities as well, really important for them to be involved and engaged. And finally, making sure that all materials are plain language. As a poll worker, they will tell you the plain language aspect will have a huge impact on them as well. So really having that training opportunity, because that training is vital, especially whether it's people working advanced polls or election day. They need to have adequate training that's not rushed on supporting people with disabilities or accessibility. It's that they have the appropriate training that will guide them. I really encourage people to get involved and really work an election. And it would be really great to see more people with disabilities to really get involved in that aspect. People just have to remember that when you're working an election, it's not it's we as a team. I will continue to put my name forward for elections. And in fact, I was called not so long ago to work the next election. So just in case, so there is one. So they're already on top of that. And I've agreed to do it continuing on.